Thank you for being here. It is Thursday and it's August 10th. So it holds the energy of 8, which is infinity, the 10, which is new beginnings, and the 7, which is transition. And this entire day is about transition because it adds up to number 7, which in Lemuria, that's what it symbolizes. So we've moved from this Tuesday, which was an energy of love, which that day held 5 as its total number. And then yesterday was mastery, and today is transition. Tomorrow's an interesting day because it holds infinity. It has the master number of 11, as well as 7 for transition. And it will hold the energy of 8 altogether. So this is a beautiful passageway right now. If we just look at numerology and the numbers that these days signify as it relates to Lemuria. So I think it's really interesting. I wanted to share that little piece because that's where I feel my heart is. My heart is connecting into the connection with the Creator, opening my heart more to the cosmic heart. And I'm hearing influx with that and the guidance that I'm receiving. So I'm just going to open this space. I haven't done one of these for quite a while. We've been, or I've been with my She Speaks meditation circle, which is the second She Speaks circle that we've created. We've been working on the wounds to wisdom. We then took a week or two, and then we did 2 more in July. That was a culmination of bringing in rose coats. And then we'll have another one this month on the 17th, which will hold also an 887, which will hold the energy, the full energy of love. 5, energy of in Lemuria, 5 is love. So with that being said, the wounds to wisdom journey has also opened some deeper insights and some deeper exploration for myself. Something that I was actually seeing within the field and trying to understand why do I keep seeing this? What is it for me to learn? What is it for me to, they're saying deep dive. And it's almost like going into all the cracks and crevices possible to turn over, like turning over the soil or turning over. The impression I'm having now is going into the ocean and turning over everything possible to find the treasure and to find the actual wisdom. It's interesting because I posted an old Way of the Feminine Force blog with the mermaid, and that's what they're showing me right now, the mermaid going in and her tail whipping up like the silt and things to see what needs to be seen, so you can have greater clarity and discretion and discernment. So in this journey, what I discovered is it's not enough for us to simply look at the wound, see it from a higher perspective, to be able to take it into our heart, to transmute it and to alchemize it, to receive the wisdom. It's not enough. But we can't walk in this world without having integrated that fully. It's like just discovering a new song. But until you learn the song, and they're saying that even the nuances of the song within your own, I'm going to say geometry, because a lot of that comes to my awareness in having studied the work of Sue Brown and her biogeometric integration and using tone and frequencies. So they're saying my guidance is wanting me to really pay attention to the nuances of when we have an experience and we learn and we grow and we integrate that within our system and we then can evolve, it is still a process. It's not a matter to simply glean the wisdom or the pearl. We actually have to take that in and have it like as if it's circulating through us frequency wise, so that we can truly own it. And so what comes up for that is multiple things in terms of its it rebalances our worth. It rebalances from wounds to wisdom. We rebalance within being worthy of love, divine truth, all the many qualities of the heart and of divine love that comes from the Godhead. And then being able to allow that to flow within our words, to be able to take that in the embodiment, to then allow it to be expressed, so that the music and the frequencies that we own are truly owned by us, by our journey and our walk. So we actually integrate that into this, the walk itself. We walk in a different frequency and a different ownership of the energy and of the wisdom. And it brings us back to another place of being able to see with new eyes, but also those eyes hold this sense of wonder. So the wonderment to me symbolizes, I don't want to say reversing, it's more of traversing back to the soul, the eyes of the soul and the eyes of the divine child. Wonderment really to me symbolizes a place of the child, and how the child embraces everything as new. And I believe the soul, when the soul looks down and says, yes, I want to come back, it is in a place of wonderment, because everything is glorious and beautiful to be embodied, whether that experience is, and we experience within the heart, whether that experience is of contrast or of let's say in alignment to the higher frequencies, or if it's in lower frequencies. We learn and grow and evolve no matter what. And I believe I'm hearing the word rejoice, our higher selves, our guidance team, our ancestors rejoice observing us and witnessing us. There's all these W words that have been coming through with this particular message. And it comes to a place of widening our consciousness and taking us into a place of we can truly be in this world, but not of it. So we become more of our widening of what our world is in our, I'm going to just say world in terms of a different word other than consciousness. Our world of being human, our world of being divine. We are broadened in width and in depth. We become more of the sphere. And so I feel called to say, a lot of what I share, whether I'm sharing it through a podcast or I'm sharing it in they're saying story, but it's almost like they're mentioning like storybook in my blogs, or even in a story, let's say on social media or a post. Sometimes there's a theme, there's a weaving of and a thread of information. There's a thread of wisdom that's being shared. And a lot of it is coming through in a very symbolic way, in a way that Spirit has given to me, and therefore I don't change it. I deliver it in the way that it has come through. And because my intention is to be dropping in words, the utmost and the highest and the purest of what I deliver for you, in that it's not coming from me, but it's actually coming through me. And I'm just feeling called to talk about this because it came in over the weekend, and it came in some multiple images, but the image that I chose was the white horse. The white horse came in to symbolize actually Spirit, Holy Spirit, and to remind us of our journey home. And that was one of the messages that came in this morning to remember about the journey home. It is not the journey home is an individual journey. It's an individual process. We may walk in this world with other souls or even soul families, but it is ultimately our own journey that we have come here for. We may be of service to others. We may be of service to humanity in our work and our walk in the world, our sharing of wisdom, as wisdom teachers. But ultimately, we each do our own journey and our own process of discovery and of evolving. And that's how expansion happens. That's how expansion happens of our being. And they're giving me the example to, our whole physiology is an expansion and contraction. The first time I ever heard anyone speak about that was my friend and mentor, Arno Bernier. And it is such a truth in terms of not only our physiology, in terms of expansion and contraction, so our beingness in terms of the physicality, but also our emotional being, our mental being, our soul, and our connection to Spirit. Are we more in an expanded or contracted state? And are we always in that pulsation? And yet, depending on what's happening in our world, it may cause us to be more constricted or more expanded. And obviously, I believe we go through that on a day-to-day basis, moment by moment basis. But yet, what is happening in terms of our journey through this lifetime? Are we opening up more and more through the entire journey of living life from 0 to, let's say, 100? Let's just give that as a potentiality. So, point being, the journey home is an individual journey. I believe the white horse is not only Spirit speaking to us, but it is our own connection to our higher self with the Holy Spirit, with Spirit and the God source of all that is. And it brings a sense of purity, trying to become the purest being, the purest. Really, I believe we're all channels, we're all vessels for Spirit. We are enlivened by Spirit, and therefore we are all conduits, we are all channels. And to me, the greatest thing we could ever do is to be the channel and the oracle for our own soul, our own highest of the highest in terms of connecting into the soul, the oversoul, even the monad, to God's source, so that we actually become the eyes and ears and the voice for the Creator through our expression. So when I talk about, this time, they're saying deluge, this deluge of energy coming in, this deluge of purification is really so that we can be one with the creative force, with love, that all that is, that animates this universe, this multiverse. I know of nothing else as more important at this time. And there's no one to do this for you. There's no one. No one can do it for me, you know. And I believe the joy and they're saying the root of it. So thinking of it as from its roots is going to grow. It's going to actually to grow greater in expansion. So from the root, we want to find that which is our connection, to be in that sense of purity, to even cut from the root that which doesn't serve us, that which is out of alignment, that which doesn't resonate, that which is in contradiction, so that we can continue to expand in the highest and the purest. So and they're saying the word reverence. This is a journey that is truly a place of reverence, not only for the creator force, but for the soul. The soul is honored. I really feel that we are honored on a different plane to be witnessed from the divine, this, like the holiness from above to look down upon us. Now, as we discover and learn and grow. So if we stay stuck, probably trying to help us, root us to shift. But if we are truly growing and learning, I believe we are amplified and augmented in a place of glory and really praise to keep going. You know, yay, you've reached that place of wisdom and milestone. So things come through symbolically. I share things symbolically. So more is coming through for this next meditation. And it feels very I'm getting the word heavy, but it's not heavy. It's not literally heaviness. It's more of I'm going to say magnificence. The magnificence of the energy is so much. It could feel heavy in the sense like it's like a deluge of a tsunami. But again, I think it's important as we go through our journey and we tune in more of our own self, and we understand what helps us stay on track or off track, or what is helping us follow our own path and purpose and stay to the highest alignment, then it becomes easier. And it doesn't have to be a heavy thing. It becomes more of a magnificent thing. And sometimes it's like, well, we can only take in so much. I may not be able to sit down and eat, you know, a 6-course meal. That might be too much. But taking it in other smaller amounts could be easier. Okay. Therefore, I can digest it and then re-assimilate it, because in the digestion process, it's just not breaking it down. We absorb it. And I know I've talked about this before. We reabsorb it within the bloodstream to where then it goes to where it needs to go. It's used for fuel immediately, or it's stored as fuel, or it's for repair of tissue. So it's re-assimilated. I believe the key to having wounds, and we learn and grow and evolve and gain wisdom, is to take the wisdom to a place of even re-assimilation, to actually then be able to use that wisdom as like, giving me the impression of keynotes, and being able then to put that wisdom in different places in our lives, or to share that. and they're giving me the impression of learning music and being able to put how you put different notes together. They're the same notes, but how the notes are put together creates different music. So your symphony, I used to play in the band, but it's been a way long time, so I can't really even give the right verbiage to this. But how I'm thinking, you see different notes that you read. Well, how you rearrange the notes is going to create the different song, the different presentation of the music and what is frequencies to be heard and to receive. And they give me the impression of, some can be very pleasurable and some can be very not so pleasurable, but it's the combination. And it's like learning the frequencies, the notes of the wisdom, especially even as a wisdom keeper. I don't know where this is coming from, but as notes that you receive as a wisdom keeper, then you can start to share those in different ways as you are called through the Holy Spirit to provide that for the world. So what came through, so some of this I'm not going to talk about in detail because it's being held in sacredness for the meditation, that we are coming together in a circle to do some things on planet, off planet. That has been a bit of a theme lately, where I'm being shown that we're sometimes called to work off planet, our consciousness. We are still here, we're still connected. Part of us is within the cosmic field. And that could be for your own personal journey, or it could be because you're also helping to support something with the collective. And what I was shown the other day, and I feel like I can speak of this, is use the word crashing, but it's really being able to break through, to crash through limiting beliefs that may be our own, limiting beliefs and things that the soul may have brought in, or things that may be held in collective realm, and therefore it's taken off planet within the field of that, of where it's being held to be seen and witnessed, and then to actually dismantle that. They're saying to crash. I want to crash it, like crashing a computer. We're going to crash that software that has these limiting beliefs that no longer serve you. So that's just an analogy. Okay. So in this process of what they had me in, how to do that, they had me for myself and what I was witnessing, and I felt I was holding a collective energetic field in that time. I'm saying it's gift. It's a gift. And it brings a place of peace, a softening, a solace to the field. And it's like it takes on a different tone, it's like the clearing, like a tone that would, in resonance, it creates a clearing in and of itself. And I feel a lot of emotion with that, because as I kept being called to do this over a few days, I was very much asked, guided, invited to not post to my typical page on Facebook or to Instagram. It's like you can put some things in your story, but I had heard 4 days. So this memory came up and I was really wanting to share it, so I did. Part of that is listening. Part of that is following guidance in terms of to respond to what you receive. In that space of going off planet, a couple different, for a few days, today is actually day 5. We'll see when they want me to post this. But what I got out of it, for me, and that's all I can speak over at this point, all I got out of that was me, was truth. And love and truth has been a huge frequency that I've been guided to connect into, to be like part of my journey and part of my path. And that part of that in my purpose is to learn of it, to learn even from on all sides of the street, if you will, learn, understand it, gain the wisdom from that. So then you can so you can recognize when things are off or on, they align or they don't align. And so this was about truth. It's like, it felt like you've been learning a lot about love. You receive the message of, it doesn't matter what you do, as long as it's about love. And you've been doing this. And then you've been learning about truth and the emanation of truth. And when it's not being emanated and how that feels and what it looks like, and recognizing energy signatures and having that fine point discrimination to be able to hear it, whether it is spoken or whether it is written. And now it's time to be in that, definitely in that space. And yesterday, as I was in my adjusting suite, I was moving some papers around, trying to finish up, and this message came in very clearly. It's one of those where I hear it telepathically, and it comes in like a, as if you have a breeze that comes in. And it's like it was. Are you ready to go to work? Yes. The answer is yes. Absolutely. There's a line in Sound of Freedom, if you haven't watched that. I don't know that I'm quoting it directly, but it's like, when God tells you what to do, there's no hesitation. And that's exactly how I felt. I felt the Creator. And I especially felt this was coming from the father principle of the Creator force. Asking, are you ready to go to work? So there's more to that in terms of the journey of wounds to wisdom, worth, and words, to owning really our wealth in terms of our ability to create in a variety of ways, holding codes of creation in abundance, and to see through the eyes of wonder, and to bring that into our walk, into our widening of our being in this world and yet not of it. It's the best way I can express that. So it may or may not make a lot of sense. It makes perfect sense to me. That sometimes what I'm called to share may not, they're giving me the sense of how things can come through symbolically. I don't have a word for, I was like, I don't have a word for what you're telling me right now. As if the encoding will unwrap itself, it will unravel in divine orchestration, divine timing as it comes to you for you to receive. It's like I'm saying a holograph. And I always think of Star Wars, where R2-D2, I think, it gives out this message from Princess Leia, so it's like within this encoding, there's a holographic memory. Well, that just popped out, memory or encoding message that's going to come through for you at the right time. I don't know, I've never said that before. I just trust all being perfect orchestration as you are held in the most sacred glory and honoring for your walk in this world. And as you remember and connect more and more and more to your heart, that is the true Stargate. That is the true Stargate of where we receive. And in fact, they're showing me to this, I'm going to just say circuitry, for lack of a better word, the circuitry of our heart and its encoding and its connection to be able to really be a true GPS. And so I'm very much looking forward to this meditation, where I will share more with our circle, these beautiful souls who are highly gifted and who are awakening into the remembrance of and why they are here, but more of just feeling their way and trusting that, and trusting what they receive, and trusting that they, no matter what they do in terms of their walk, they are truly here doing the glory of the Creator's work. They have made promises. I feel like I can say that I don't know their particular, but it's like I feel they've made commitments to the Creator to come here at this time to offer their divine service. And here's the actual word, their service to that which they are sharing. And I totally believe this. I totally believe this without any hesitation, that the greatest thing any one of us could possibly be doing is to have that connection to the Creator force as purely, pristinely as possible. And that alone is huge in terms of what comes through our heart. And by being in that place, we do lead by example. We do lead from a place of absolute saying purity and harmony within our being, because when we are not in a discord or contradiction, our frequencies are going to be more harmonious. The notes we put together are going to be more clear. And so therefore we ripple, just like the sound as it's carried is carried throughout, and it has no discord. And your walk alone in the world from that place is huge. So bless you. Much love, much truth, as we all walk in this grace of beingness, discovering more of who we are, the depth of who we are, the breadth of who we are, the widening of our consciousness into all that is, and being able to walk in that holy place and know that there is a rippling effect, an emanation of the truth of our being. So may you have a blessed rest of your day on this transition day. And as we move into truly an 8-day tomorrow on Friday, which is holding the 8, the master number of 11, as well as 7. So much love.